to the track, the wall, makes the leap, and makes the catch! Amazing catch by Junior!
He got it! A perfect game! 13 strikeouts!
What a special moment for Barry Bonds.
Swinging a long drive, deep to right, going, goodbye! He has done it! He has changed the game of the night with one swing of his bats.
Woo!
Welcome back to the greatest baseball podcast in the whole universe. Welcome back to Champions Adjust.
Champions Adjust, baby.
Boom.
You know they do.
We did 10 episodes of season 1. This is officially the first episode of our postseason edition of the Champions Adjust pod. Today is October 4th. Officially, the MLB season ended yesterday, October 3rd. Postseason starts tomorrow, which is a Tuesday, and this episode will drop on Thursday.
So the wild card games we discussed will have already occurred.
Yes.
So we'll know before this airs whether we were right or not about our predictions. So
exactly. That's kind of going to be our schedule for the month of October. We're going to try to release every single Thursday until the World Series happens and is done. That'll be our schedule. A few housekeeping things since our last episode dropped. Champs Adjust is officially live. So we have these hats available, and we have 3 t-shirts available, part of our signature line. It'll have the new CA logo on the chest and the Champs Adjust banner on the side. New merch will be dropped also in the wintertime with some hoodies and some beanies. But
fire me up.
Yeah, go check out champsadjust.com. There's also links to Anchor, which is our podcast, and links to some other things there as well. So boom, that's huge for us. And Bodzen's got some updates too.
Yeah, if I look a little bit more fit, if you're watching this, it's because I've been working out with Aaron here.
Woo!
And I'm feeling pretty good. 2 times doing the upper body stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I'm already able to move this table pretty easily. That's pretty awesome for me. I also got married to my lovely wife Lulu, which sorry boys, I'm now off the market.
Damn, babe.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. And yeah, just Aaron and I have been doing some baseball stuff that just specifically for performance and mental side.
Yep.
This fall, getting away from the. I'm gonna go right out and say the toxicity of money grabs.
Sure.
Of youth sports, and we've gotten away from that, and we're focused specifically on helping kids, which has been a lot better for my mental health personally.
Yeah.
And I know that you're a lot better off.
I'm just fired up to be able to be honing in on the stuff that I really, really, really care about, which is
what matters.
The mental performance side of performance, specifically for baseball, but just overall life in general.
And I would say most importantly, we're in the wonderful time of the year.
Yeah.
Playoff baseball. I am so fired up.
October fires me up, right?
Oh my God.
Because we got pumpkin spice lattes.
Oh yeah, we got pumpkin spice anything.
Yeah, pumpkin spice anything.
There's and
we got playoff baseball.
It recently came out with health benefits of pumpkin spice.
Dude, pumpkin spice is
it's really good.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm
also another quick note: if you do purchase anything at champsadjust.com, it comes with a free wristband.
Woo.
And a free sticker, which if you're watching on YouTube is right here.
Can I get one of those?
So yeah, I'll give you a sticker on the way out. But yeah, I don't promote that because I just like to. That's basically a thank you for buying anything on champsadjust.com and supporting the pod or whatever. That's the best way to support the pod is by buying the merch. Merchandise money goes directly into any of the equipment you see here or editing the episodes and things of that nature. And then we're trying to expand Champs Adjust into youth sports or sponsoring teams and anything of that nature. So if you're more interested in that stuff, that's where we're headed with all of this. Champions Adjust, the brand, has many different layers to it. Hopefully soon. One is the podcast, now the merch, and then more from that. But
eventually we can get chairs made.
Eventually we can get chairs made. Also, as you can see,
I was going to mention that.
Our third amigo, our boy, our homie, is not here today. He's just got a lot going on. He's really busy right now, and couldn't make it tonight out of the scheduling. Me and Sander are also busy on Tuesday nights. Bodson's coaching on Wednesday nights. I have stuff going on Thursday nights, so it's like it's as you know from season 1, it's very challenging to get all three of us here all the time. We did an incredible job in season 1.
Really cool.
And this was kind of like let's throw together some postseason episodes, and so Sander just can't be here tonight, but we do have some of his predictions, some of his notes. So he definitely is still part of this episode and part of this pod, and we'll get to that and his predictions in a second. But we all know that he's absolutely fired up about the Braves.
Of course he is.
They overcame a tremendous amount of stuff this season to still win their division and play like incredible baseball. So we'll get to all that, but this is the postseason edition of Champions Adjust. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
What's our first topic?
First topic, let's go to what
Let's go into season awards.
Yeah, end of season awards.
162 games of baseball.
Yes.
Who are your MVPs? Let's start there, Bucks.
All right, so my MVPs. I think the easiest one that we can discuss is American League MVP.
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani. A lot of people, you see it all over the place. What about Vlad Guerrero, man? He's so great. He's young. Well, first off, age should never matter when it comes to an award. So I don't care how old he is. Right. Yeah, he's a fantastic baseball player. But
incredible.
Shohei Ohtani is doing things in baseball they haven't seen since the Babe Ruth era.
Right.
You look at it, he hit 257 this season with 46 home runs, 100 RBIs, 26 stolen bases. He also had a 3.18 ERA in 26 games started.
And he led the league in triples.
He's just fast.
That's such a random stat.
It is, and I love that you knew that because I did not know that.
I just saw it actually earlier today.
It's fantastic.
Because with this, obviously he has speed, 26 stolen bases, right? He probably popped out a few triples.
He's hitting the gap. Right. He's hitting the gap, and that says a lot about him that he has, 46 home runs, and he's hitting the gap, leading the league in triples. Which means his on-base percentage is fantastic. And
let's talk about the other side of the baseball now.
He's a phenomenal pitcher. He was at one point could have been considered a potential Cy Young candidate.
I don't even know how he did it.
He's a fantastic ball player, and I think unanimously he should be the MVP award winner for American League.
Yeah, I don't even think they need to vote. But if you want to do a top 3, obviously Vlad Guerrero Jr. is probably number 2, and Salvador Perez is probably.
Well, I go with Salvador Perez because I know you love him, and I think that he's a phenomenal baseball player.
121 RBIs, 48 bombs, catching.
Oh yeah,
I think he probably caught 150 games. I don't know the exact stat, but yeah,
and he played and he was in the home run derby, which exhausts you, but he still had a great second half.
And then he had second half. That's
phenomenal second half, which you see a lot of people do. There's always been like a look at, hey, these guys did the home run derby, and then they fell off.
Right.
In the second half of the season because they were just tired. They didn't take the extra time, which is why you see a lot of ball players are like, you know what? I'm not going to play in the All-Star game. I need a break. I need to do this. So good for Salvador Perez.
But I have the same pick, Shohei Ohtani. It's actually not. They don't even need to do voting.
No, sure.
Just give him the award.
I think National League MVP were in the same boat. It's a little bit more up in the air.
National League is up in the air, man. There's a lot of really valuable guys.
I think the top 2 you're going to see are Juan Soto and Bryce Harper.
Like a lot of value.
Yes. But when you talk about value. Again, age doesn't matter, which, you look at Juan Soto, he's 22 years old doing what he's doing, and it's great, but again, age doesn't matter. But then you look at the other side, and a person people aren't talking about as much is your boy, Brandon Crawford, who is part of the best team in baseball. And he's the catalyst of that team. Right. And he's having a great year.
Right.
I don't have his stats pulled up on me. I have
somewhere like 80 RBIs.
Yeah.
He's hitting above 280.
Right. And so he's just had a great...
And he's a vacuum at shortstop.
He's a phenomenal Gold Glove contending shortstop. But Bryce Harper hit 309 on the season, 35 home runs, and most importantly, he kept his team in the race. Naturally, Senators Braves proved to be a little bit too much down the stretch, but... Harper just went on a tear in the second half, and I still can maintain that we don't hear about him nearly as much anymore.
No,
but he is good for baseball because he loves to play the game and he plays hard.
He loves baseball.
He loves the game.
Every day. 162 games a year, he comes literally fired up to the yard.
I agree. So my top 3, interchangeably 1 and 2, Soto and Harper. I'm going to go Soto over Harper, and then Crawford a very deserving 3rd.
Yeah.
For the National League MVP.
Yeah. I like those picks.
Cool.
I mean, we could throw Paul Goldschmidt in there.
I would love. Guys, you see, I have a Cardinal shirt on. I've had a lot of people during their historic 17 win streak. They had the longest win streak in the National League since the Cubs of the was it the Cubs? 1935 was the last time that happened. They also won their final 11 road games, which is the first time that's happened since a team out of Philadelphia did in the 1800s.
Wow.
A team hasn't done that since the 1800s, win their final 11 road games. So naturally, when that happens, you're going to have some really good play. Mm-hmm. And as a Cardinals fan, I'm going to plug Paul Goldschmidt, Tyler O'Neill. Harrison Bader was phenomenal. I mean, some of the baseball that I watched with, I was sending you all the clips with Goldschmidt. With you got runners on. You got a runner on third and a runner, bases loaded. That's what it was. Bases loaded, 1 out, up by a run. Ground ball to first base, throws it home. So his runners in the corners actually. There wasn't a force at home. And the runner who was running from third to home ran back. You have Yadier Molina who ends up at second base at one point. Harrison Bader runs into second base. Mm-hmm. You got a shortstop throwing to the center fielder, throws back to the third baseman to get the out, the second out, or the third out rather of the inning. It's just good baseball. It's a lot of fun to watch. And so that's my quick plug about how excited I am for the Cardinals. We can get to the predictions in a bit.
Yeah.
Because you're going to see a great matchup.
You can throw Paul Goldschmidt's name in there, but I think you're right with 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I give the edge to Harper. You give the edge to Soto.
Yes. Well, I give the edge to Harper too.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
I just think when you talk about the most valuable player to your squad, if Bryce Harper is not on the Philadelphia Phillies, they win about 8 games.
And I mean, they have a pretty decent team.
That's exaggerated, but you get my point.
I do get your point, and we can go back to when A-Rod won the MVP with the Rangers, and they were one of the worst teams in baseball. I don't like teams who are nowhere near the conversation to win MVPs. And I know I'm putting my foot in my own mouth because it's Shohei Ohtani,
right?
But that's just
a historic season.
Yeah, it's a historic season with what he's done.
He did what some of our 13-year-old boys are trying to do with both sides of the baseball, which is incredibly hard at 13.
But in matches
13, it's incredibly hard.
Level, it's
high school, it's incredibly hard. College, it's incredibly hard.
So to that point, Ohtani gets the nod in my book because of what he did, but Soto doesn't because he doesn't have that. Yeah, he was great, but his team was not.
Right.
And Harper kept his team in the race.
In contention, yeah.
So then we go to, let's
Cy
go.
Young. Who do you got?
So American League Cy Young again is probably more of a, obvious, yes, it's going to happen. Robbie Ray, 2.84 ERA, 1.04 whip, 248 strikeouts in 193 innings. And the guy...
And he carried his squad.
I mean, the Rays are so good. The Rays are so good. They're so much fun to watch. The Blue Jays. What am I saying? The Rays.
It's very similar.
Yeah, sure. The Blue Jays were so good this season. They had both sides of the ball really strong. And like you said, the last start of the season just didn't happen. It was a playoff game.
He only gave him a 5. It's not like he got hit for 85 runs.
Sure.
It was 5 runs, but
point being, can we edit out the part where I said Rays? Because that's embarrassing.
No.
What do you mean? You know why? No, I'm kidding you. Because I was saying Robbie Ray, and I was like, Rays. No, the Blue Jays were a phenomenal team. We're going to talk about that. I would like to in a second.
Yeah.
That the Blue Jays missing the playoffs says a lot about how good the Rays are.
Yeah.
Because the Blue Jays were a really strong team, and we talked about that during the half part of the season. I expected the Blue Jays to be in the playoffs.
I wanted them in so bad.
I did too, and Robbie Ray did everything he could to make that happen, and kudos to him. And he gets my nod for
on the same team, we saw historic numbers from Marcus Seaman.
Yes, Marcus Seaman. Oh my God, what a ball player!
Like from second base, you rarely see that kind of pop.
Broke records as a second baseman for power.
We love to see.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you give it to Robbie. I'm the same.
Sure.
I think there's so much value there. He carried his team. His unbelievable performance. His second half was literally incredible. His second half was way better than his first half, and he had a good first half too. And then a National League.
So that one's a little bit muddier because you have a guy.
There's a lot
in Corbin who didn't walk a guy Corbin Burns didn't walk a guy for his first 10, 12 starts.
That's what I was going to say. His first 10 starts were out of control.
It was ridiculous. Then you also have Zach Wheeler.
Crazy.
Phillies. Great season.
He has the same conversation as Bryce.
Right.
Like without Zach or Bryce.
Right. Then they're
probably win 3
8
games.
Yeah, 3 games. You're over exaggerating with 8, probably 3 games. But my nod goes to
Anyways,
0 games are won without those guys. Just 160, 0 nods.
They got like 30 other hella talented dudes.
I'm going Max Scherzer, and I'm doing it because
Big Max.
he ended the season 15-4. But when he got traded to the Dodgers, he went 7-0 in 11 starts with 68 innings with a 1.98 ERA. And you look at the Dodgers and you look at what they were able to do, which is almost how many wins did the Giants get?
107.
107 wins. So the Dodgers need 108
Yeah.
to win the division. Scherzer was 7-0 in 11 starts, and they ended up a game back
Wow.
behind a 107 win team.
Right.
Because obviously you have Trey Turner. You have an insane team.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Max Scherzer on the mound is just so much fun to watch, and you have to reward that. Second half, he had a great first half, even better second half.
They have 3 guys in the Dodgers
provided. Oh my God, yeah.
You know,
they're a really fun team to watch.
like if the Brewers and the Dodgers get to the championship series,
there's gonna be like 5 runs across the entire series.
Those 3 starters on each squad are like
Right, just throw those
out
guys.
of control.
Right, and then 3 days rest, go back out there.
Wow.
There you go,
That's
Scherzer.
intense. So you go
we'll start that. I go
Zion.
Scherzer.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm proud of you for getting your aminos in, by the way.
Got to get those aminos in. We had a good workout this morning.
Bang, bang, man. You did. So you're going to move chairs and move tables.
Move chairs, move tables.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I don't. I'll go with Corbin.
You go Corbin.
Yeah.
He needs votes, man.
He's getting my vote.
And it's interesting because Wheeler's probably the front runner.
He's amazing too
with what he did. But yeah, Corbin is
all 3 of those guys, right?
Is the anchor of an incredible rotation, an incredible team with the Brewers.
Even though I'm a huge Cardinals fan, I like to see the Brewers do well.
Oh, the Brewers are so much fun to watch.
Yeah, and the stadium's magical.
Even more fun for the Cardinals to start and continue their.
Do you want to do Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, let's go Rookie of the Year. I have Manager of the Year here too.
Okay,
We're
you
going
can.
Through it.
I don't know many manager names. So.
I mean, they're pretty easy to figure out. Let's go American League Rookie of the Year.
Because
Randy Arozarena.
Yeah, American League's done.
Yeah, he's done. He had a great postseason, and now it's technically his rookie season. He's part of the 2020 club. What's that?
Right. Last year during the playoffs, he tied Barry Bonds' home run record.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And then he got his rookie season. Yes.
Yeah, then it goes 2020.
So his stats: 20 home runs, 20 stolen bases, 69 RBIs, at 274 hitter.
Yeah.
Which great for him. And then National League, and then it also is pretty easy. And Jonathan India, who was a phenomenal second baseman with the Reds, also hit 269 with 69 RBIs and 21 home runs.
Yeah.
So really phenomenal rookie play. I think with Randy, it's a little bit tougher. Like, okay, yeah, but he also was one of the best postseason players we've seen in recent history before he even got to his first full season.
Right.
So.
And then they got another rookie on the Rays.
Yes, they do. And Franco, and I think he's probably number 2. And I'm gonna play a homer here as a Cardinals fan and say Dylan Carlson's my number 2 rookie of the year.
Okay.
Just because he had a phenomenal year.
No argument for me.
Yeah.
We're
great.
Big Cardinals fans here.
Here we go. Go Cards.
Go Cards.
Where's your shirt, man?
It's in my closet.
Fair enough.
I wore my own brand.
Yeah, fair.
Available at shopforeverybody.com.
Shopforeverybody.com. American League Manager of the Year, Kevin Cash. I think most people watching or listening to this are not watching it, but
that's okay.
I was looking down at my Manager of the Year. I looked over, and Aaron was still plugging his shirt with a.
I was just gonna keep this going until you looked at me.
A smile and a thumbs up, and I lost it. American League Manager of the Year, Kevin Cash. Rays. They're in my opinion, the strongest team in the American League. National League Manager of the Year, Gabe Kapler, who came from the Phillies and went to the Giants, and just I mean, the thing about the Giants, and we talked about this.
So for context, the Giants were supposed to win 79 baseball.
Yeah, we talked about this before the season started.
I think maybe 78.
And maybe 78. And then we talked about it again like this 2 or 3 weeks in, like a month and a half in. And then halfway through the season, we kept on talking about the Giants, about how there's no way they can sustain this. And they won a
107 games.
107 games with Gabe Kapler.
And mind you, they were basically a dynasty a few years back.
Yes.
Right? They won 3 World Series titles in 6
every other
years.
year. It was every other year. They just kept on
and
winning.
so winning to them in playoff baseball to them is not, it's normal.
Sure.
But 107 games is still the most they've ever won in franchise history.
Right.
So you got to think about how good that season is. It could end in the very first series, because that's how good the Dodgers were, that they won this division in the last game of the year. Like, that's so intense.
Absolutely. And it was a really fun day yesterday. I think we were both on our couches individually watching these games where nothing exciting really happened because the Red Sox hit a 2-run home run in the top of the 9th.
Yeah, there were so many things that could have happened.
If they had lost, then they would have been forced into a 1-game playoff with the Blue Jays, which I would have loved to not only talk to you about today, but then watch with you afterwards. But because the Blue Jays, I think, have like a 12-run lead or a 10-run lead with the Red Sox up at top of the 9th against the Nationals, and then the Red Sox, bottom of the 8th is what it was, hit a 2-run shot to take a 7-5 lead, and that ruined my dreams of chaos. Thanks, Red Sox.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Sheesh.
Yeah. One of my buddies, Sam Pack, who's been on my podcast, Jackson Talks Everybody, which you should also check out. He texted me yesterday and said, "Anyone else praying for chaos today?"
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah, I was, but...
I was texting you and 2 other, Tony Hunt, who listens to us, and Chris Anderson, who this guy, he's a big Yankees fan, and Lulu and I met him and his wife in Puerto Rico on our honeymoon.
Yeah.
He's a big Yankees fan. He started listening to our podcast.
Nice.
So
thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. And Tony Hunt, who I don't think I've given a shout out to, big White Sox guy, and so I was texting.
He's got a good squad.
Good squad. Too bad they're going to run into some good teams.
Okay, so we did all of our predictions, right?
Yep. Do you want to talk about you want to talk about teams that we are surprised missed and like specific things about the teams before we do our predictions? You want to save our predictions last? What do you want to do?
Let's do wild card right now.
Okay, great. Wild card for me.
Because when the episode drops, people will know exactly if we were right or wrong.
Yes. So I'm going to go.
So we got tomorrow's game is Boston versus Yankees.
And I'm going Boston. The Yankees just don't have the hitting. Sorry, Chris. They just don't have the hitting. And it's at Fenway. It's a playoff atmosphere. The Yankees have a really strong squad, but I mean, I watched that game yesterday. They were in another situation where they walked off.
Yeah.
Yesterday against the Rays. Yeah. And if they had lost that game, they'd be playing tonight against the Blue Jays.
Right.
And it's just they can't hit right now, man. It's not that I don't want them to do well, and I really wanted the Yankees. They were one of my surprise picks for the playoffs. I predicted they would. I think they were like 9 games back, and I predicted they would make the playoffs. And I want them to do well because I want Joey Gallo to have success, and I want Bryant who came over from the Cubs. Rizzo to have success.
Bryant's on
the Giants. That's exactly up. And there's just not a good hitting team. So whereas the Red Sox rotation is very questionable,
underwhelming.
They do have Chris Selbeck.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to help
Nathan
them.
Eovaldi's been really good all year.
And I think the Red Sox
tomorrow for them.
I would assume so, right?
I don't know. I'll look
it up.
Keep talking.
So that's my prediction for tomorrow. I think Red Sox over the Yankees, and I'm gonna go on a limb and say it's gonna be a walk-off.
You're gonna say tomorrow walk-off?
Tomorrow walk-off. Why not? Let's have fun with it.
Walk-off win. So Red Sox win in a walk-off fashion.
New York is favored to win in Vegas.
Yeah.
But this isn't Vegas. This is Champs Adjust, and I'm going.
Yeah.
And the Yankees have had the Red Sox number all year, and we know that.
Yeah.
But you got to be bold at some point. So you have Cole going versus I assume is Sale.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good matchup.
I'm probably wrong, but whoever wins the game is going to lose anyway. So that's my prediction.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Yankees, just to give it this some little bit of
let's do it.
A little bit of diversity here. I'm going Yankees. Yeah, but I don't think either team makes it out of their
division
playoffs,
right?
Divisional series.
I would prefer to see the Yankees versus the Rays personally.
Yeah,
I enjoy watching them more.
Yeah,
I'm not convinced that their bats are going to be good enough in an away game pressure cooker situation.
Sure. I mean
that Gallo's ever been a part of.
No.
I mean it's a different game.
It is. It's tight. And there's a lot of expectation when you play in New York.
Oh,
right. So
yeah,
pressure's high,
especially when you're at Fenway. So those are I'm Boston. You're Yankees.
Yeah.
All right.
And then we go
the big game.
We go with a really tough decision here.
We know who we're rooting for.
Really tough choice.
So
you got the second best team in the National League, record-wise,
versus one of the hottest teams in recent Major League Baseball history ever.
Right. And when you're talking about baseball and you're talking about playoff baseball and you're talking about October, momentum is everything.
Which they both have momentum. They're both dangerous. They're both playing well.
Yeah, they're both playing really well.
So you got Max Scherzer versus Adam Wainwright. Now, a lot of people don't remember Adam Wainwright was on the 06 Cardinals team.
Adam Wainwright has so much playoff experience.
Yeah, he was on the 06, where it was his rookie or second season.
Remember the famous breaking ball, famous curveball.
Yeah, he's a closer, and now he's the ace, Papa Wainwright.
And he's thrown to his guy, his guy.
Him and Molina are
bros. They're brothers.
They're family. And then you look at too, one of the advantages LA has is their speed on the base paths, but then you have Yadier Molina, who is historically one of the best arms in Major League history.
Yeah.
So good luck Mookie Betts and Trey Turner running on him.
Right. We got speed.
Tough. A lot of and then you have Harrison Bader on the other side.
Yeah.
So it's a good matchup.
It's really good. I would love to see a longer series.
And here's another thing that I had a conversation with a few people about is that the only way the Dodgers, in my opinion, lose an early series is a one game. It's going to be really hard to beat the Dodgers with their rotation 3 times or 4 times.
Yeah.
But you can beat them on any given Wednesday.
Any team is beatable.
Shout out Jamie Foxx. So
we'll see. Interesting to see if Blake Trinan comes out of the pen, former South Dakota State Jackrabbit, and
your boy.
Of mine. Also, you have 2 teammates on the Dodgers. I played high school ball with Billy McKinney.
That's right. You told me that.
Comes off the bench for them.
Final West. Shout out.
And it's also, we were not even mentioning that Albert Pujols is playing his former team.
Yes, he is. So that'll be fun, but it's going to be in LA, so it's not going to be like a fanfare.
Which is not as intense as
is he actually going
back to Foxborough, right?
Which was a Super Bowl, apparently.
Yeah. But there's still that dynamic there, right? For Pujols, he's seeing all of his homies and his buddies because everyone likes Pujols. They're all still friends and stuff.
So,
or at least the guys that he played with.
Right, and you also played with. I played with
Harrison Bader.
And so quick shout out as we're talking about this, Tony Hunt, who I just gave a shout out to, just texted me. Scherzer has been pretty bad recently, and I've also seen him in the past a little too amped up in the playoffs. That has caused him to be wild. Also, slider tends to be flatter because he is overthrowing it. Very fantastic. We need to get this guy on here at some point during the playoffs. Yeah. Sure. So, Tony, you'll be listening to us on Thursday.
Yeah, I guess I have a lot of guys I played with.
You played with Harrison Bader in Summer Ball, who I love.
He's a good
But
who do you give the nod to? Realistically, who do you think's winning this ball game?
It's so hard to say realistically who's winning this ball game. I have written down, but I think I might change it.
Go with your gut.
I think I might go. God, I can't do it. I'm going to go Dodgers. I got to go Dodgers. I don't feel good about it, but because I love the Cardinals and I'm wearing a Cardinals shirt.
Unbiased opinion.
I'm giving an unbiased opinion. I think the Dodgers are too good. I think it's going to be a phenomenal game. I think it's going to be a pitcher's duel. I think worst case scenario for the Dodgers, if Tony's predictions are correct and Scherzer's flat, then you bring out Buehler, and he's also a phenomenal pitcher. And the Cardinals don't have that.
This is the World Series basically.
The Cardinals do have Jack Flaherty in the bullpen right now.
Because if you lose, this is it.
Right.
Like there's no next game. This is it. Right.
The Cardinals do have a Cy Young contender, Jack Flaherty. Yeah, even though you have to play next week, just throw everybody at them because you have to get past this game, right? So I'm going Dodgers, but I would love to come back here next week and say I was wrong, and I'm so pumped up about it.
Yeah, I'm going with the Cardinals.
You're going with the Cardinals?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, dude. I'm so happy you're going for the Cardinals.
And I'm so pumped because, they got to play the Giants. San Francisco is my hometown team. I was born in San Francisco. My dad and I used to go and sit on the left field bleachers and see Barry Bonds play like all the time. Cardinals became my favorite team because I played on them when I was younger, and now those are my 2 favorite teams.
Sure.
If I had to pick a third, it'd be the Rangers, but we don't really talk about that. Those are my 2 squads.
Not a lot to talk about.
Those are my squads, and so I told my dad if the Giants make the World Series, we're going to San Francisco to see a game. But I have to see that series. I have to see the Cardinals and Giants again.
Let's go to St. Louis and go to an LDS game. Yeah.
That's it. You don't have to convince me.
That's fair enough. Let's do it. Sorry, Lulu.
So we got wild card out of the way.
Yeah.
Do it now. Let's briefly touch on what teams that missed out on the playoffs.
Yeah.
That will be even bigger contenders next year.
Well, Phillies missed out on the playoffs. They're a strong team. I'm not going to sit here and say they're going to be a bigger contender next year. They had a phenomenal year from two guys who gave them all their wins. That otherwise they would have won one game all season. But also,
I like how we're pushing that narrative.
Yeah. They would have actually gotten -3 wins.
And I had to go to AAA actually.
So Phillies, I was rooting for. No hate against Sander. I just really wanted Bryce Harper to make a good push, and it made it a really fun season. The Cardinals took, with their 17-game win streak, man, they took all the wind out of the Phillies and the Reds' sails. But those are two really good teams.
Because the Reds are a good ball club.
Yeah, they're a really good ball club.
I mean, we didn't even talk about Nick Castellanos for MVP, right? He's in contention for that top 5 at least.
He's another make baseball fun again kind of guy.
He loves the game, man.
He's a great, fun guy. And I always love when he and Yadier Molina get into it because he always grew up loving Yadi.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I love you so much, but hey, I'm going to beat you up if I have to.
Right. Yadi knows the game, man. He's playing it.
Which, by the way, I was in Puerto Rico, and being Yadier Molina fans, I wore this Cardinals shirt, and people stopped me when I wore it. I wore it on our last day there thinking people might stop me. And they did. I'm like, Yadi Molina, Cardinals, go Cardinals, man. And I was like, heck yeah. There's big billboards of Yadier Molina out there.
Amazing.
Just everywhere. And he's opening up a baseball school out there.
That's so cool.
It was really cool to be out there.
I'm sure his two brothers are helping him.
Oh, I'm sure.
Imagine. Because they were also studs in the major leagues.
100%. But Yadi's like a legend in Puerto Rico right now. And it's so much. We were in San Juan, and he's just an absolute legend there. And it was so much fun to be in that environment.
What an inspiration.
So anyways, National League, Reds and Phillies, their wins got completely taken out of their sails because of the Cardinals' 17-game win streak.
Right.
Now, the Cardinals, by the way, if you're not familiar, had a 1.8% chance of making the playoffs early September and went on a 17-game tear, and they didn't lose until they clinched the second wild card spot. And then I think they went 2-2 in their next 4 games, but who cares? They already closed it off. And my God, how impressive was that? And so, shouts to you Reds and Phillies fans. It sucks.
Yeah.
American League side for me
is the two teams that barely missed it, man.
I'm going to say one. The Mariners are fun, but the Astros are going to be a different team this year.
The Mariners, bro.
The Mariners, and nobody expects Scott Service.
They had such a big drought, dude.
What a great job by Scott Service managing that team to almost make the playoffs.
It's like, I just know, too, right? You just know how fucking much these guys put into the season. And even if the team wins 40 games, they're literally putting in everything they have.
Sure.
And just things don't go their way. And then you continue to rebuild and then you just finally put together a 90-win season.
Yeah.
The Braves had 88 wins, bro. They're in the playoffs.
Yep.
Right? Both those teams had 90 wins.
Yeah.
And you think, okay, if we win 90 games, it's
you're going to be in the playoffs, not this year. Which also says a lot about this
amazing.
Field. There's no bad team in this field right here.
No.
These teams might be the most questionable right here.
Yeah. I think the Red Sox and the Yankees are the worst teams.
Are the worst teams in the playoffs, yes. But my gosh, all these teams are really good squads. I was reading an article a couple of days ago. I think it was Buster Only who was talking about it. It's like every year you make predictions, but it's easier to make predictions because an underdog team, like a bad team, still has a 40% chance of winning, but no team in the playoffs is a bad team.
Right.
So it's really hard to predict who's going to do what.
Yeah.
I also saw somebody that was making my predictions. I was doing some research and somebody said if you are good at your predictions, it means you weren't ballsy enough in your picks. You didn't go out enough on a ledge if you predicted correctly.
Yeah.
Which I am picking safe bets right now. Which
I'm saying that the Mariners and the Blue Jays will make the playoffs next year.
Oh yeah, I would like to. I think you're going to see a different Astros team. So that team's starting to dissipate a little bit. Another shout out from me, avid listener, my uncle Alan Frucht. Shout out to you, Alan.
Fuck yeah,
thanks
Alan.
for listening.
Okay,
you met him at the
Okay, I got 2 questions, and then we're just gonna go predictions, and we're gonna wrap this episode up.
Let's do it.
Kyle Seager played his last game with the Mariners. Maybe he had a send off, right?
I'm gonna say yes.
He had a send off.
I'm gonna say yes.
Where do you think he plays next year?
I haven't put enough thought into that.
Me neither, but
I have an idea.
Think about that. We'll answer that question on another pod.
I will.
Throughout the postseason.
Yep.
Trevor Story played his last game with the Rockies.
100%. Yep.
I think he's going to be a Cardinal.
It depends on what they have with Sosa, the Cardinals, because when DeYoung got hurt, DeYoung was struggling, so they put Eduardo Sosa out there, who had a phenomenal tear. Then he got hurt, so he has a beat up hand. So Young's back out there. I would love Trevor Story, but the Cardinals historically don't spend money.
They don't. They got $30 million to get Arenado. They got extra 30 in the tank.
That's true. I would love to see it. And Arenado's gonna be like, hey, come play for the Cardinals.
Right.
Like, look, when they clinched, look at Arenado's face. I was watching him and Goldschmidt talk to each other, and they were just. And Goldschmidt, you can tell of his lips. Like, this is what happens when you come to St. Louis.
Right.
He said, "I welcome to St. Louis, man. This is you're gonna be making playoffs here.
You go to the playoffs.
It's just a fun team." And so I just got chills talking about that because I've been a Cardinals fan since I could walk.
If you can get close, we got Goosies. We got Goosies.
Even more so because your beard is doing it.
So those are my two questions. Maybe we'll answer those with a little more detail later. But I wanted to introduce those questions. Okay. So now we're just going straight up predictions all the way to who's winning the World Series. Let's do Sanders first because he can't explain his picks, so we're just going to say that.
And he only has his picks through into the League Championship Series.
Okay.
So Sander Bryan, he's got Red Sox over Yankees.
Yep.
He's got Dodgers over Cardinals.
Dodgers over Cardinals.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, Red Sox over. Yeah, so he's got Tampa over Boston.
Tampa over Boston.
Shocker. He's got Dodgers over. The Giants. Mm-hmm. He's got his hometown Braves over the Brewers. He's got Houston over the White Sox.
So he's got Tampa Bay versus Houston and Braves versus Dodgers.
That is correct.
Okay, and then we'll get his World Series picks.
Yep, 100%.
As we continue, but hopefully we'll actually have him on an episode if timing and stuff works out, which it should. We might have to do a Zoom episode because Bodson's got a new gig. He needs to travel a little bit.
I'll be in Jacksonville, Florida next week.
Which we're super pumped about for him.
Yeah,
so
dude.
We'll probably have to do a Zoomy. But it won't be anything different if you just are listening to it via just audio. But if you're a YouTuber, it'll be the squares are a bit weird. It's kind of challenging. So I suggest the audio version a lot better because that'll be crisper. Anyways, that's just me talking.
Yep.
Okay, I'll go through my picks because I think you have a little bit more detail with yours.
I have done a little bit of research. Yes.
So I said Cardinals over Dodgers. Okay, so then we have Giants and Cardinals. I'm going Giants. Come on,
man.
I think in a 5-game series, the Brewers are almost unbeatable with their pitching staff. So I go Brewers and Giants, and then I go Giants into the World Series. And then I got Tampa Bay over the Yankees. I got the White Sox over the Astros.
Interesting.
Because I'm just not an Astros fan.
Nobody is, but they're still a good team.
They're a really good baseball team. Yeah, but
nobody wants them to do well.
I got a lot of people in the White Sox I really like Jose Abreu and Tim Anderson.
They're a fun team.
But I'm very questionable about Carlos Rendon. Like, is he going full steam? Is he healthy?
He doesn't have velocity right now.
That's a huge question mark for me. So I don't know. But I'm still going White Sox. So I got Tampa Bay versus the White Sox. I'm saying Tampa Bay goes back to the World Series, and then Tampa Bay wins the World Series this year.
Okay, you know what? You go to the World Series, you go to the playoffs enough times, you got to win it eventually. And this is a fun team for the Rays.
So that's what I'm going for.
So here's my questions. The Braves and the Cardinals are their power unsustainable? I think historically, yes.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't like the Cardinals and I don't like the Braves.
Because they ride
high on the home run. Yes. I've already alluded to this. Yankees struggle too much at the plate. Mm-hmm. The Red Sox pitching is very questionable.
Extremely.
White Sox, the big question mark is Rodon healthy.
Yep.
But I'm going to go with the Astros. Their bullpen is not good.
No?
Their bullpen is not a good bullpen. I think they're going to beat the White Sox, but I'm not sure if they have enough to go further than that.
Right.
I mean, they have a great offense.
Yeah.
I mean,
the best offense in baseball.
The bullpen has the second highest walk rate of the 5 AL playoff teams. Scored decisions. So if they score enough runs to avoid being something close games, so I just don't like this. So go back to the. All right, so those are my big question marks that I've put together as I was doing my research.
Yep.
So here's my predictions. I've already said got Dodgers over the Cardinals, which breaks my heart. I'll be on the baseball field that entire game anyway, so I'm not going to be able to watch it.
On Wednesday?
On Wednesday night. I won't go home till like 9 o'clock, so we'll see what's going on then. But the game's in LA, right?
So it's not going to start till 8 here.
Heck yeah. Okay, so I'm going to watch most of the game.
You'll watch all the back half.
Fantastic. Want to come over and watch the Cardinals Dodgers? Let's do it Wednesday night. It's a date.
Cool.
Champs Adjust Day. We got Red Sox over the Yankees. I'm going to go Dodgers over the Giants in 5. It's going to be a 5-game series. I maintain the Dodgers are almost impossible to beat in a series because of their pitching. And so I know we've been questioning the Giants all year, and I'm going to do it again. LA over the Giants. I'm going to go Brewers over the Braves in 4. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be a 4-game series. And then we got LA versus the Brewers. I'm going to go Brewers over the Dodgers in 7.
Brewers over the Dodgers in 7.
Brewers in the World Series.
Brewers in the World Series.
Got Brewers in the World Series. And I'm going to explain that for a second. They have phenomenal pitching. If their hitting can just maintain a little bit. Dodgers are a great team. I think they put too much pressure on themselves. The Brewers are a fun team to watch. I'm excited about them. So I'm Brewers are my National League championship pick, right? Travis Shaw. They also have a big dude at first base. Look up their roster because I love him.
Okay, I got it. Keep talking.
Okay, on the American League side, we got Red Sox over Yankees. I'm going to go Rays sweeping the Red Sox in 3. I'm going to go Astros beating the. Did I say Asterix? the best sporting episode I've ever had. The Astros, not the Asterix. The Astros are going to beat the White Sox in 4. They're just too good. And the White Sox, I love the White Sox. I would love to see them maintain and go to the LCS, but I just don't see it happening. I got the Rays over the Astros in 6. The Rays are just too good.
Yeah.
The Rays are a team where I was reading some comments from Kevin Cash. And Kevin Cash says that
Rowdy Tellez.
I'm referring specifically to Vogelbach.
Oh, I love Vogelbach, dude.
Yeah.
That dude's
Florida
massive,
guy. He is
bro.
such a big dude, man.
I love
but
it.
He beats the ship historically. He's just so much fun to watch. And I watched every Cardinals game throughout the entire streak.
Yeah.
And so I watched Vogelbach play like 8 games. And it was a lot of fun. But anyway, so back to the Rays. Kevin Cash, with when he was talking about his team, he says that his roster's full of guys who are starters most places in the league. But he just has a bunch of guys who are waiting for their turn, and they're going to do their job when they get up there, right?
Yeah.
And that's his whole thing. So I just have the Rays going over the Astros in 6. And then World Series, I have Brewers versus the Rays. I'm going Brewers in 7.
Going Brewers in 7.
I'm going Brewers in 7. Same idea. The Rays have a phenomenal team, but you look at pitching rotations, that makes the Dodgers very appealing. It also makes the Brewers very appealing. And since I have the Brewers beating the Dodgers, I have the Brewers win the World Series.
Makes sense.
So my World Series pick is the Milwaukee Brewers. My ALCS pick is the Tampa Bay Rays. I think that 2 small market teams, especially before the Brewers move back, or before the Rays move back to Montreal, it's fun to watch them in Tampa, which I think will start happening next year. You're going to have a split season. Probably. Really? That's what it's looking like, a split season between Tampa and Montreal to see what the crowds will look like. And
so it's like a Canadian
you're going to see a French-Canadian baseball team again.
Sweet.
And maybe trade for Vlad Guerrero Jr. So that we can have,
maybe like his dad.
Having their Vlad Guerrero for the new Montreal Rays team.
Okay.
But anyway, that's beside the point. I would
we
love to
both
see
got
those teams.
Tampa Bay Rays
Yes.
in the World Series. I got them winning over the Giants. You got them losing to the Brewers.
Yes.
That's it. Those are our picks.
That's it. Lock it in.
Shake on it.
Shake on it. I'll be changing it next week. We'll talk.
So, and then we'll get Sanders' World Series picks. He'll tell them to you live at some point, whether it be a Zoomy episode or we'll be back here at the infamous Everybody's Land. But that's it. That's our first episode of the special edition postseason episodes of Champions Adjust.
Thank you for listening. Text us, call us, comment with any of your predictions. I would love to hear your predictions.
Yeah, absolutely. Do all of that. Go to champsadjust.com for your merch. And then subscribe on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, all that good stuff. Share it with a baseball buddy. Share it with a buddy, friend, son, daughter, girlfriend, boyfriend, best friend, Twitter follower, all of it.
We love doing this, right?
Yeah.
It's fun to get together, and we see each other a lot during baseball practices anyway, but we live far from each other. But it's so much more fun when we have a good following who texts us. Like I get a text from one of our listeners while we're talking about this specific game.
Right.
How cool. He told us, and that's really cool to have that. So
good nugget we got.
Good nugget. Thank you, Tony. Who I will be seeing on Thursday, the day this drops. I will be seeing him in Austin.
Great. Which
would be cool. So, thank you everybody who listens and who takes the time out of their day to check us out. And hope you enjoyed this one. I think this was a little bit less about what we usually talk about in sports and more Major League Baseball and what we have coming on. So I'm really excited to talk about the wild card games next week.
Yeah.
And the first few games of the DSs.
So So our ending statement will be: no matter what life throws at you, champions adjust. Always. Cheers. One love.
Cheers. Love you guys.